What is up, everybody? My name is Morgan. If you are new here, I will be leaving this month to go attempt a northbound through hike of the Appalachian Trail. The question I keep getting asked over and over again by my family and friends is, what are you going to take with you to eat? So in today's video, I want to talk about my first couple of days of food that will hopefully get me to Neil Gap. A couple of things I want to talk about before we get started. Number one, I know myself and I know that I'm not that hungry at the beginning of hikes. So I wanted to really take food that I knew I would be able to eat and stuff that is also, a little bit calorie dense, but that wasn't necessarily my focus so much as, am I going to want to be able to eat it out there? The second thing is I will be staying at the Lenfoot Hike Inn my first night, so I do not have a dinner and a breakfast that I normally would have had to have. Also, I will repackage all of this food when I get to Atlanta, but I am going to have to fly pretty much across the country. So I want to keep it all in its original packaging until I get there, and then I will get it all situated. I am really hoping this will get me to Neil's Gap. If for some reason it does not, I can always stop and get more food beforehand, but the goal is to hopefully get there. All right, here we go. So here's a quick overview of just my first 3.5 days of food I will be taking with me on trail. Okay, for day one, I'm gonna be having breakfast at the hotel, so I do not need a breakfast. And I have a little applesauce pouch because it's gonna take me a little bit to get to trail. I probably won't be getting there till around lunchtime. So that's just to kind of hold me over while I'm traveling. For lunch, I have a ranch tuna creations, which is probably my favorite tuna creations flavor that I've had so far. And I'm gonna put that with some mayo on a tortilla, which I do have a tortilla for each day. I know it says 10 in the pack, but there'll only be 4. And some cheddar and sour cream ruffles. For some reason, I always crave chips on the trail, especially cheesy chips. So I'm just gonna start out with them. And then that way I'm not craving them miserable for a couple days because I just really want chips. With the lunch, I have just some Gatorade powder that I will put in my Gatorade bottle for drink mixes and a little That's It fruit bar for like a little fun, healthy dessert. And underneath that, I have some peanut butter M&Ms to have if I feel like having them while I'm hiking or when I get to my destination for that day. I do not have a dinner for the first day because I'm going to be staying at the Lenfoot Hike Inn. I am very excited to stay there. It looks like a super cool place, and they do provide dinner and breakfast for the next morning, so I don't need a dinner or a breakfast for the next morning. But I do have a breakfast essential just because I feel like it's easy calories I can drink on trail. For a snack, I have another applesauce packet because honestly they are pretty easy to eat and it's hard for me to eat a lot in my first couple days. So I wanted to pick things that are really easy to eat for me. I also have a honey stinger waffle, the salted caramel flavor, which is my favorite. Once again, something that's easy to eat and I know I'm gonna be able to get down when I'm not very hungry. Moving on to lunch. Oh, I love these things, the Walmart pulled pork packet. I have that with another mayonnaise just for the calories, a liquid IV as my electrolytes, and just a little snack again with my tortillas and my Ruffles chips. For my afternoon snack, I have a Pro Bar meal. Those things are pretty filling and calorie dense, so I'm just probably gonna eat that throughout the day. For dinner is the Wild Zora Caldera chicken curry. Not a lot of calories, so I am going to add a ghee packet with that. But I'm excited. It doesn't seem like super a lot of food, so I'm hoping I shouldn't have too much of a problem eating all of it. And also, you know what, it's my first night, so I want to have something tasty. So if I had to splurge on freeze-dried meals, I'm not going to do it all the time, but the first night seems like a good time to do it. I also have a Gatorade packet. Honestly, that's just because I like Gatorade, so that's mostly for the flavor. And some Ghirardelli squares, because those things are like 70 calories a piece, which is crazy to me. And they were a really good deal at Costco, so that's mainly why they're there. Moving on to my second full day, I have more Carnation Breakfast Essentials, a Skippy peanut butter packet, and a Wild Berry Pop-Tarts. I don't like cooking my breakfasts because I don't want to sit there and be cold and wait for water to boil. Also, I do not drink coffee because it's gross. Come at me. No, but for real, I don't like coffee, so that's why it's not there. Underneath that, I just have some maple pecan, like a mix. It sounds pretty good. I'm hoping it should be pretty easy to eat. Haven't tried it, but it looks good. I have some pink salmon, lemon and chive flavor, just to kind of mix it up with some Scratch hydration mix. I also have some mayonnaise with that and a That's It fruit bar. Again, those will go with the tortillas and the Ruffles. All of the lunches too, and honestly with all of the food, I just kind of put it in my bag, and then whenever I'm feeling that day I put it here for an example. I could eat it this way, I could not, but I just kind of am eating what I'm feeling. Underneath that, I have a Power Crunch bar. Those are pretty good. and they're not like dense, hard to get down protein bars. So I'm gonna go with that. Hopefully it'll be easier to get down, because again, I have trouble eating. I'm really trying to work on that, and I'm really trying to get the calories in, but we will see how it goes. For dinner, I have a beef stew, because I know for a fact that I can eat that, and it tastes good, honestly. Again, a Gatorade because I like them, and I just have an olive oil packet with that for some more calories and some more of the big time calorie Ghirardelli chocolate squares. For the next day, I have a Belvita breakfast bar with some peanut butter and Carnation breakfast essentials again, because it's pretty easy and fast. For a snack, I have a beef stick and a mini kind bar, just for a morning snack. For lunch, more of the pulled pork, because it's delicious. Some liquid IV and another Ghirardelli square, and these Nutty Crunchers for more of an afternoon snack. It's like a sesame bar snack. Originally, I didn't really like the sesame type snacks, but they kind of grow on you, and it got to a point where I'm like, oh my goodness, that sounds so good. So I'm taking one of those with me, and it's a lot of calories. Surprisingly, I do not have a dinner that day because I am planning on stopping at Mountain Crossings and getting a pizza for dinner. Also, if for some reason I did not pack enough food and it takes me more days than I expect, I feel like I can always go to one of the hostels that are right there and get more food. So it is what it is. That's what I'm going to start with. Hopefully it will be enough. I have a couple extras I want to talk about. I have some Scratch Energy Chews and some Honey Stinger Energy Chews. I originally, when I started backpacking, did not take stuff like this and had some trouble at altitude and was given some Honey Stingers from another hiker, and they were lifesavers. So I have those mostly for difficult climbs or times when I'm honestly just kind of bonking and need some extra calories and extra quick energy. Also have some hot chocolate and some miso soup. I figure I could drink those at nighttime. I mean, I guess in the morning too if I really need it. But the hot chocolate is a good little dessert, and I love miso soup. It's just very, very tasty. I also wanted to note, I do have some Idahoan mashed potatoes that I am going to just keep in my pack. I have those mainly in case I make a dinner too runny accidentally. It's just a little 2-ounce container, so it doesn't weigh that much. But I also have it in case for some reason I severely miscalculate a resupply and need an extra dinner. It's not going to taste the greatest, but honestly at that point, that's on me. So that is just an overview of what I'll be taking the first few days. So Grandma, now you can relax that you've seen what food I'm going to be eating, and I'm not going to be starving. All right, let's see how much my food bag's going to weigh. That is 80.85 ounces, and add the chips. And that is about 89 ounces, so that's about 5.5 pounds. I'm happy with that for about 3.5 days. Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, so that was just my quick overview of what food I will be starting the trail with. Obviously, my tastes are going to change as I go along, so the food will probably change as well, but that's what I will be starting with. If you enjoyed this content, I will be starting trail very soon, so go ahead and subscribe if you want to see my journey. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week.